Welcome back, everyone. Next up, we have GlobeStar Therapeutics Corporation. It trades on the OTC pink sheets under the symbol GSTC. And its mission is to pioneer biotechnology and transformative therapies for the management of chronic neurodegenerative diseases. GSTC is the exclusive global license of the Project Amethyst patents and patent applications. Please welcome President and CEO James Katzaroff. Nice to see you, James.
Hi there. Nice to see you again. All is well.
All is well. Okay, James, the floor is yours. Call me back when you're ready for questions.
Will do. Okay. Well, hello there, everybody. I am the GlobeStar chairman, CEO, president, all those sort of wonderful things. And I really am delighted that you're here and taking the time, because we're finally moving forward with a lot of the steps that we've been trying to do since COVID hit. I want to philosophize somewhat for a moment, okay? Why are you here? I mean, you're seeking to re-enter because you got caught in the upswing a couple of years ago, to average down, see if it makes sense. Or are you looking for a new trading idea? This may be a good one to take a look at. Or are you also trying to do both and make the world a better place? There comes a time in one's life where you have to kind of make decisions. And I'll tell you what, I came across a quote attributed to Mark Twain, which is, the two most important days of your life are, one, the day you're born, and two, the day you realize why you were born. So I've been in this business for over 40 some odd years. My father was in the business. There are things that come and go. This attracted me so much because of the possibilities of making such a difference and making this a legacy. It's not been easy. As President Roosevelt said, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. Well, I'm skilled. I have an incredible management team, which we'll get into later. But I want all of you to think about the decision. You can make a difference for your family, your friends, your community, your county, your state, or if you're listening from outside the country, what we have is something that changes the quality of life, or apparently changes the quality of life for multiple sclerosis patients. Okay. If we have what we think we have and what the Italian results were, which was not an FDA study, it was an anecdotal study, okay, then the results will leave a legacy for you and your family forever. This is very complicated, but let's go through some of the deck here. Let's see here. All right. So this is basically, you've read our mission. We have several other things working on that we can't talk about yet, but we are really working very strongly. We did announce an MOU. It was a non-binding MOU last week or the week before with Advanced Innovative Partners. I highly recommend you all take a look at advancedinnovativepartners.com. This is a wonderful group I have known for 20, 30 years throughout our nuclear medicine history. And we are working together. Definitive contracts should be done. We were hoping for today, but it's coming soon. Or that is our belief, that it's coming soon in between the attorneys. And then we will take this right to, we are starting a subsidiary down in India that will help us work by law with the Indian hospitals. Okay. So you see our mission, we're really clicking through and we've got lots of opportunity. The current situation, of course, is MS is about 850,000 right now, about 2.65 million globally, and it happens all the time. And for those of you who don't know, basically it's women are about 67% who get this between 20 to 50 years of age. And right now there's no known cure. It's disgusting. It's ridiculous. People are spending over $15 billion on these pharmaceuticals in North America. It's the second highest disease cost, chronic disease cost in the United States. about 26 million, maybe a little bit more at this point, globally is spent. And there is nothing other than trying their best. We have a solution. It's a very elegant solution. Okay. The founder, and by the way, this is all patented. You'll see on the screen. And the founder was blessed enough to have the capital to travel around the world, try a lot of the different possibilities in the pharmaceuticals for his MS. He was a top athlete in Europe, in Italy to be exact, and nothing worked. So they decided to spend the time, the money, the energy, the intellectual property of their own to try and come up with a formulation that works. Now, I'll show you later in this presentation how well it worked, but again, it's not under FDA auspices yet. So we're working towards that, and that was our first step with the MOU with Advanced Innovative Partners, and close to securing the hospital group that we want to do this FDA work. But in any event, what we've got is these compounds, and I'm not sure that I'm pronouncing it right, but minocycline, which is an antibiotic. It's really used as tetracycline. You know what that is. The other drug with it is fluconazole, again, and it's an antifungal with yeast studies, etc. And the other thing is atorvastatin, which is really a statin drug. And we've combined these three and been able to utilize the intelligence factor of these people I work with to take us all the way through to studies. So here are some of the different things that go on with multiple sclerosis. I'll let you on your own take a look at this. But basically, there's an opportunity here, especially for somebody, a group like us, that don't have to spend a lot of money to get this done. All right. Right now, the ways to do treatments for the attacks are threefold: corticosteroids, lumbar puncture, and plasma exchanges. But then there are treatments for MS progression as things are getting worse: injectable drugs, oral drugs, infusion drugs. And really, the treatments are just physical therapy, some muscle relaxants, some other medications that try to work. And what we've done is something a little bit different. Again, here's some of the costs of the drugs that are out there today. Now, this is 2 years old, these numbers. So they may have changed north or south. I don't know, but we will know over the next few weeks as we put together the rest of the deal. Here's why we are so excited and why I went to people in the industry, people who started the Global Health Alliance, and said, look, I am not the expert, but can you tell me what you think? They looked at this. We have lots of details on it. There's 150 volunteers, 90 of them between 25 to 65, had at least 5 years to 20 years of MS, and then also 60 healthy volunteers to see how it worked. The readout of the trial shows the disability evaluation, muscle imbalance, and what they did was they got 2 doses per day for 45 days with a controlled diet. And here's what they had. Here's what they found in Italy. This is what's keeping me going too, and why I think each one of you should participate in one factor or another. Even if you've got a family member or a cousin, have them call us. Maybe we can get them into the next set of trials. I don't know, but this is something that is worth your attention. Our clinical studies that were in Italy showed the reduction in fatigue, recovery of bladder function, recovery of balance, and a significant improvement, okay, of being able to walk and do these things. And there was a reduction in the sclerotic plaque. And basically, it's 2 pills a day for 45 days. And here are the rest of the results. Okay, well, let's, the way this is done is right now we're talking about how to get FDA regulatory pathway. We're on it. I have on our board of directors, Stephen Pendergast, who's worked with a multitude. He's our chief commercial officer, does a fantastic job on sourcing and checking out distribution sales. And we also have Bill Farley, who's worked on dozens and dozens of drugs to the FDA and presentations and have had them cleared. So we're very confident and comfortable with where we're going. It's a timing factor. Again, so we're working towards this IND meeting, the submission, the trials, and then going through. Our revenue model is very fascinating because on our numbers, we think we can do this between $6,500 and $15,000 per patient. It's a significant drop from the average of $80,000 to $90,000 that patients are paying today. We believe we're going to get some very, very good government backing as this comes through, as well as other grants. So people are now getting aware of us, and we think that we've got something that will be very exciting. Well, we know we have it. It's a question of, does it show in these next trials? That is the key. The opportunity is very big. You can read this on your own. Our projections for revenue, got to back them up a year because we lost a year or two. But quite frankly, if we've got anything close to the Italian projections or what they did in results, then these are the things that we anticipate being able to happen. The company will change dramatically, both in the rest of the world and here. Again, Dr. Len Wisniewski is a worldwide known doctor. Robert Chakosky's been CFO and is the one who brought the deal in and is very, very comfortable talking about his relationship with the founder, as well as his relationship with people that have at his house taken some of this, and he's seen the results. We've gone through Farley, Pendergast, Wisniewski, and Chakosky. One person that I've added in our new website, which should be up either by the time that I'm talking or during the day, but it's GlobeStarTherapeutics.com. And you'll see that I've added Kenan Spivak, Kenin Spivak. That's and his background is on smigllc.com. He does a lot in India, as well as other FDA issues, as well as entertainment issues. And this is all very complicated. We've navigated some of the worst times in our life history the last 2 or 3 years, but we're now coming through on the other end. And there are mountains beyond mountains, but I've been fortunate to hire people smarter than me. And those of you who know me know that's exactly what I do, is I want to find somebody who's smarter than me. I stay in my lane and let these guys stay in their lane. I urge and implore all of you to make a difference with your dollars. Because if this works, the more you make, the more you're going to be able to give away to others. All right. And that means family. That means different charities, whatever you'd like, maybe right there at a doorstep. People will ask, where are we going to get the money for the clinical trials? The good news is that it's about a 20% to 33% cost of what it would be just in the United States, doing it down in India. There's an old Wild West guy by the name of Sam Hill. You may have heard the expression, what in the Sam Hill? Well, he was a multimillionaire, built an incredible museum on the Columbia River nearby here. And what he did was go to Europe and find the money. So the saying was, when he was asked, where are you going to get the money for the railroads? That's what he funded, was wherever it is now. Well, that's how I feel here. As we are showing further and further results, which we anticipate will be fantastic. Can't say they are going to be, but we see the opportunity here as something that is dramatic and really helpful. I want you to please take a look at our friends, which is Stanley Satz is chairman of Advanced Innovative Partners. He's got 30 years of experience out there. chairman of scientific advisory boards, and a whole lot of other things, a lot of patents, and a wonderful human being. And his CEO happens to be his daughter, which is Rose, who I have also known for 20 or 30 years. She's worked a lot in this industry in nuclear medicine, and does a lot of regulatory work, and is helping us guide us through where we are going through our Indian friends. That's where I am at. Anna, if you were there,
I'm here, James. Are you ready for some questions?
Yes, I can take a few questions.
Okay, great. We have a few questions from Jesse Dixon, wanting to know how many patents do you have issued and how many are in the works, and if you can speak about what they cover.
Okay, we only have one patent right now. It's got 15 different claims. You can look that up. We gave you in the PowerPoint, we gave you that number, so you can look at that. There are several other things in the works which I really can't talk about yet, because we're also going some different diseases, but one at a time. I mean, once we get through these tests, I think the world will see our success, all right, and be willing to help us not only with capital, but with other ideas and perhaps other patents that will come to fruition for us.
And Angel Carlson wants to know, how far away are you from beginning the clinical trials since teaming up with AIP?
Well, I wish I could tell you exactly, but I can't. But I certainly, before the end of this year, we should have it all done. I'm planning a trip in August or September to both Italy and India. And as soon as that subsidiary started, we can get it going. If you take a look at some of the people on the AIP advisory boards, one of them is extremely well-known and extremely well heralded in India, and he is working directly with me and our team to make sure this all happens as quickly as possible. The world needs it, just plain and simple. We need an answer. Absolutely.
Osvaldo asks, it looks like you hired an auditor, so are they going to help uplist to the QB? If so, what's the timeline for that?
Timelines are always interesting, but yes, not only have we got a new securities attorney, which works with Spivak Management, that's the smigllc.com, which I've worked with for decades. But so we've got a new securities attorney, we've got new auditors. All right, we've added another guy to the advisory board, which is Spivak. And as far as timing goes, yeah, we certainly, what we'd really like to be able to do is show enough good results in efficacy through these trials such that we can do a full uplisting to NASDAQ. And I've got 3 different firms that are kind of pounding my door, but it's a little early. And we all recognize that. But all of these things take more time now than they did 3 years ago, as we all know. So I can't give you timing for an uplist. I can only tell you that it is obviously paramount. We have about 775 million shares outstanding. So it's paramount that we redo some sort of a corporate structure sometime in the future along with an uplisting. That is the plan. And I wish I had an exact, November. It just doesn't happen that way. It's going to happen as fast as we can do it and as fast as the other side, if you will, can put together all their due diligence kits and get everything printed, et cetera.
What about a timeline for a phase 1 trial? Ronald Kalkuvecki is asking.
Well, it'll be this year. I just not only is it out of the country, all right, but we have to fit everybody else's timeframes as well. One of the hardest parts of being an adult is, the old part of when we were 4. I want it and I want it now. I mean, believe me, I've been living this thing for 3 years, understanding that what we may have will change the world. And I can't give a time. All I can say is that it is something that we are working very hard and very diligently to get done.
Ronald wants you to clarify the Italian data. Is it going to be released publicly as a catalyst? You discussed that earlier. If you could clarify if that was a formal release or something that's going to be published.
I'm unclear as to the question. In our PowerPoint and on our website, which is either up right now or any moment, it tells everything about that study, what the numbers were, who did what, to where, to whom, etc. Now, of course, physicians and some of the people behind get to sign an NDA and get into all the spreadsheets, and et cetera, et cetera. But for general use, we've answered everything that we know at the moment.
Cameron wants to know if you have a marketing plan in place.
A marketing plan in place. We have Stephen Pendergast, who's marketed an incredible amount of drugs and he is the chief commercial officer. So he knows who to go to. We've already laid a lot of the foundations, but we are not prepared. We're not prepared to say that it's in place yet. The draft is there. We know how to do it. We've all got decades of experience, and people in our Rolodex. For those of you who know what that is, we're very comfortable with assuming we're coming close to anything like the Italian studies. We'll have it locked and loaded.
And Vicente wants to know, what other biotech firms are you working with to get through the test and bring to the market?
What other bio firms are we working with? Are you talking about CROs or?
Well, if Vicente wants to clarify, he's just asking, are you working with other biotech firms currently?
Just AIP.
Just AIP. Okay, great.
Correct. Now, others are wanting to, but we're really we're snipers right now, right? We're focusing on single target and trying not to get scattered, which is difficult, but it is something that, we are right now snipers. We're going to get this one done.
Nick Kerr asks, how confident are you in getting the funding done? And what happens if you can't get it secured? Will there be opportunities for investors to partake in private placement memorandums?
Yes, that's my answer.
Okay. And Miranda wants to know how you're funding operations currently. Are you raising money with equity, debt, convertible? Can you be specific?
Yeah, we've done both. Some straight equity for some shareholders, as well as convertibles. That's where we are. Until we have other results, I can't really go big. So we've just been bootstrapping, and it's not been easy in the last 2 or 3 years, of course. But we're right there. We're right at the door. The opportunity is knocking. So I think things will change dramatically for us. Well, I guess one way or the other. If we've got anything close, it's not just a double. It's not just it's a real home run, and it really changes the quality of life for millions of people. Okay, what we don't know yet is the adoption rate. Right? We can only make assumptions that if this is what it is. Suddenly, we're battling against legacy systems too. That $15 billion spent in the U.S. Okay, there's a lot, and I've gone to several conferences with the top doctors from Yale, UCLA, et cetera, Stanford, et cetera, and they're getting grants and they're testing, and we have not taken any grants. All right, and the only testing we've done is Italy. If in fact, again, this works out right in India, then suddenly there's going to be a massive shift towards what we're doing. We'll see.
Can you talk about what's proprietary about your products? Chana is asking.
Well, the patent is what keeps it. All right. So we're going for orphan drug status, which means everybody's shut out of the marketplace for it's either 6 or 7 years. I'm not positive, because I've heard both, but we're going for orphan drug status, which means nobody else can do this formulation for several years. And we believe that will happen. I could be wrong, but that is what we expect and anticipate based on the team that I have put together, that I'm very proud and pleased to be with.
And James, do you have any closing remarks for our viewers today?
I think each one of you have got a choice. You can make a difference for your family or your cousins or your region, et cetera. Take a look at us, not just as a trading vehicle, but take a look at us as a lifestyle change for a lot of people. This, let's just make the assumption that it's going to work, will change a lot of lives. And that's where I'm coming from. I like to, my philosophy is basically, do good when possible, make money on it. All right. So we are definitely doing good. And we believe that this will be a one for the ages.
Wonderful. Well, we would love to have you back in the future giving us some updates about this product. So thank you so much for your time with us today, James.
You're wonderful. All of you guys. Thank you, Charles, as well. And thank you, Ryan. Everybody have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you too. We'll see you again soon.
Bye-bye. Indeed.
Okay. Bye. We'll be right back with our next presenter.